Welcome. I'm here with my dear friend, Baxter Hines, who is the Chief Investment Officer and founder of Honeycomb Digital Investments. And my name is Toby Loftin. I'm the Director of Strategic Relations for Honeycomb. And today, we're here with Baxter to talk about the firm's philosophy and the repeatable investment process. So Baxter, will you tell us about the philosophy of the firm?
Sure. Well, I think, Toby, the first starting point for us in every way is around regulation and safety of the assets. We know that in order to get more investors in this space, the products that they use are going to have to play by the rules, so to speak. And so we make sure that everything is compliant. We are a regulated entity, meaning we are a registered investment advisor, or an RIA. And so that requires us to uphold certain standards. Like, for example, we put all of our the assets that we hold for our clients with a qualified custodian. So that means that the assets are safely held in banks that are chartered by either a state government or a federal agency, and adhere to the standards that they require. So that's the first thing that I would mention. We also make sure that we're dealing with trading counterparties that are all in good order with regulatory authorities. We have to uphold all of the different regulatory and compliance hurdles that are mandated for us to operate. So that's first and foremost. We will not do anything if it doesn't meet those types of criteria. And that can limit what we might be able to do, but the opportunity set is so vast that there's plenty of ways to gain and take advantage of this space by operating in a regulatory compliant manner. The other thing that I would mention from a philosophy standpoint is that we look at crypto on a fundamental basis. A lot of people see these coins as speculative. They see them as just ways for people to really gamble in the marketplace. And for the most part, people are right about that. I'd say 95% of crypto has little to no value. But what we focus in here on at Honeycomb Digital is to hone in on cryptocurrencies that have real utility value, cryptocurrencies that have use cases that can help solve problems in the commercial or economic space. And there are all kinds of opportunities there that we can invest in. And because of that utility, these things being able to really do something unique, we see that as something that we can value and give our investors access to.
Right. So it sounds like the foundation is safety first.
That's exactly right. And don't get into trouble second.
That's right. And so a lot of the themes that Baxter is alluding to are in his book, Digital Finance, published by Wiley. Use cases and the business problems that are being solved by cryptography. So tell us a little bit about the repeatable investment process. Like, walk us through a real life example of how you would go about making a decision.
Sure. So I'd say that the first thing that we do is we look at crypto very much like the way that I used to look at stocks in my time in the equity business. We look for, again, a repeatable process, following different steps and having standards that each of the investments that we take part in have to meet. And I think, as you mentioned, let's go over that step by step. So let me start off by sharing this slide with you that shows our process in visual format. It's a six-step process that we use for every investment that we take part in. The first part is we look for a wide opportunity set of different cryptos from various industries and create a screening process. So just like, again, on the equities business, when we would look at, say, the S&P 500 or the Russell 1000, we would break it down into sectors and industry groups and then look at the opportunity set from there. So people don't realize, again, with all these great use cases that blockchain has to create a better, faster, cheaper way of doing business, there are all kinds of solutions that fit into these different industry groups. And I'll take show people a quick look at kind of how we go about this. So what we have done is we have segmented the entire list of assets that we can buy. These are ones that can be custodied at qualified custodians and traded through legal channels, and try to break it down again to a sector and industry basis. So here we're looking at the consumer services space. You might have heard about how, like, for example, the video game industry is being pushed to new limits through the use of blockchain and distributed ledger technology. You can see within consumer services, there are about 11 projects right now with an aggregate market cap of over $16 billion. Out there, we've got advertising opportunities, you've got content creation and distribution. Probably heard about augmented reality and the metaverse, Facebook changing its name to Meta to reflect the new economic reality that it competes under. So we can again, in a disciplined way, try to find different opportunities. Same thing in the information technologies space. There are data management solutions. There are file storage solutions. There are Internet of Things and security protocols. All kinds of different opportunities that we can look at. Once we look at this, then what we do is we start breaking down these industries into the actual cryptocurrencies that are present within them. So just taking a look at that at a little bit higher level, we see here on this sheet that in the advertising space, you've got one opportunity. It's a project called Basic Attention Token. You might have heard of the Brave browser. There's a big push for people to regain privacy, as well as to be paid for the advertisements that come up on the screen while they're browsing the internet. The Brave browser can allow you to do that. We can take a look at a lot of different information about this token. Things like what type of coin it is. This one's traded as an ERC20 token, which means it's on the Ethereum blockchain. We can see where it's custody, like at Gemini or BitGo or some of the qualified custodians that we look at. And then we can see other types of statistics like what is the trading volume for the project, how much market cap does it have, and then look at some other third-party types of scores. So we do that for every single industry and look for, again, themes and different cryptos that have these real use cases. So that's really where it all starts. We can look through the universe, and then we start doing a fundamental analysis of the different cryptos that look attractive per those screens. And this is where we do a deep dive and really do diligence on the companies to look for attributes that we require. And really the three big ones that we're looking for are utility. I keep going back to it's got to have a use case that provides a solution to economic or commercial problems. Number two, we're looking for competitive advantages, like how does this project stack up against other cryptos, as well as existing applications that are out there in the marketplace. And then the third thing we look for is scarcity and the economics behind the token. If they have all of those, as well as we look at the legal underpinnings and the technology behind these companies, all to try and really vet and understand what we're buying. We then do a valuation analysis and try to find out, can this token really make a good return for our investors? Before we then go to the investment committee and our team really looks at all the opportunities and tries to put the proper weighting in each opportunity so that we can have a diversified portfolio of high quality digital assets.
Well, Baxter, it reminds me a lot of what we've been doing our whole careers, which is applying a repeatable process within an asset management framework and starting with identifying the themes, then which cryptocurrencies benefit from those themes, doing the fundamental analysis, applying all the things that are related to traditional metrics, but applying it to this space, and then building the portfolio. I mean, it's really pretty straightforward when you think about it. So
that's what we want to do. We want to be able to provide an institutional grade offering in this digital asset space to investors, and going about it the way we know, which happens to be rooted in our traditional finance backgrounds and work in the asset management industry. We feel like that's the best way to proceed.
Well, thanks so much for sharing all that with us. And I'll remind you guys, Digital Finance, published by Wiley. And also, there's materials at our website, honeycombdigital.io. Welcome to check that out, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.